Alaikum people. I hope everyone among you is doing good and enjoying this lockdown period very effectively. And in normal life, you have a busy schedule, so that you could not spend it with your family members, or you could not invest this time upon yourselves. So it is best time to invest upon yourselves. At the same, no doubt people are scared everywhere, but I think the positive thing in this period is that we can invest it upon ourselves to grow ourselves, because a person it to develop a personality, to develop anything we want to do in our life, we must spend up that this time we must spend some time. But in our busy schedule we don't have enough time to spend it. Now it is best time, it is high time to spend upon ourselves. So anyway, let us move to our topic. It is the percentage lecture 3. In the previous lectures we have done some basics. We have done some, we did the percentage table, we give the idea of the percentage. Now in today's topic we will do some practical questions regarding this percentage, and I will show you that how we use this technological approach to solve any questions. So let us move forward without any time, without wasting any time. So first question is, if we were asked to find the answer, find the question, find 25% of 70 25% of 20% of 30 300. Suppose if you were asked to solve this question, is a very simple. So before knowing the percentage table, it would have been look very difficult to you. So what you will do is, yesterday in the previous lecture we did the percentage table. 25% represents what? 25% represents 1 by 4. You know it. What does 20% represent? It represents what? 1 by 5. So it is 300. Very simple. It is 20. So it is 300 divided by 20. It will cancel out with 15. So simple answer is 15. Very simple. So it becomes simple because when you had the idea of this percentage table. Let us do some more questions regarding this. For example, if we were asked to find the 16.66% of 12.5% of, suppose, 960, how will you do that? 16.66%. Recall the trigonometric percentage table, and I strongly recommend you that before watching this video, that please have a look upon this percentage table, so that you can easily understand these questions. So 16.66, it is 1 by 6, into what is 12.5, it is 1 by 8. So it is 960. Simple. It is 48. 48 will cancel out with, I justly use here pen and paper for your understanding. Otherwise I could have with myself, I could do it mentally without using pen and paper. But here I am trying to show you that how you can solve this, and when you have enough practice, you will also don't require to use your pen and paper. This is 48 and it will cancel out with this. This will becomes 48 into 2, that is 96. Answer is 20. Simple. So I hope you will do these questions. It is a very simple question. These are very simple questions. These and you must have simple. What you have to do is just remember the percentage table. Now let us do some more questions. I will write the question on the board so that you can understand it more clearly. Suppose question is, I will write the question on the board. A fruit seller, I will write the question on the board. A fruit seller sends, sorry, a fruit seller sells, sorry, a fruit seller sells 30% of his oranges, and still have and still have 70% of his oranges, 70% of oranges with him. Find the total number of oranges. Total number of oranges. So let us do this question. What is a fruit seller has how much oranges? It has sold 30% of oranges. Have a look. So but still, sorry, here it is, I'm sorry, here it is 140. Write it. A fruit seller sells 30% of oranges and still have 140 of oranges with him. Find the total number of oranges which originally he had. Have a look. Look, I will just visualize, try to visualize it so that you can understand it clearly. So have a look. This is 30%. This is 70%. These 30% he has what? Sold. What he had left? He had left with 70% in percentage. But here in actual amount, in actual, what is the value? It is 140. This 70% represents 140. So this 30% he sold them. Here left with 70%. But actual, he still have how much number of oranges? He still have 140 of oranges. So in actual, this 70% represents what? Represents 140. So you need to find total number of oranges and recall that any number in the percentage value, it is how much? It is 100% value. And when we talk about the fractions, its value is 1. 70% represents 140. What you need to find is, what? You need to find 100%. So just divide, you can divide it here. So you will write 1% will represent 1% divided by 70, 140 by 70. This is 2. 1% will represent, if 1% represents 2, what will 100% represent? Because you need to find the value and the percentage value. It is, when we talk about the percentage, it is 100%. If 1% represents 2, what will be the value of 100%? Simple, multiply by 100, it is 200. So simple, 100% will represents 200. So total number of oranges he had with him, 200. Simple question. So this is a very simple question. You can understand it. This is the logical approach. No need to remember these. Some people try. You might have seen the formula that are those huge formulas, that terrified formulas. You had to change. So x, y, and something like that. So don't remember those formulas. Just have logical approach. 70%. Again, I will repeat. The 30% he sold. What he had left with 70%, common sense. But 70% represents in value how much? 140. So any value in percentage, it represents 100%. If 70% represents 140, 1% will represent 2. What will be the 100%? It is 200. So that means he had left it with, how he had total number of oranges he has had is 200. I hope you will get it. So we will do some more questions. Before that, I recommend you, because I'm sorry, here I have the unavailability of space. So you must before that you pause the video to note it down. I will make a clear picture of this whole question. So I hope you will understand it. Now let us do some more question. Question is, what will be 80% of number 80% of number whose 200% is 90. Take a look. Very simple question. You don't need, I don't think you need here pen and paper. Have a look. 80% of number, we need to find the 80% of number. Number is what we are given, what information we have given about the number. We have given the 200% of number, but I told you that any number in the percentage, it is how much? It is 100%. If 200% they represent 90, so 100% will represent 45. Simple. 100% will represent 45 half. So that means number is 45. Number is 45. What you are supposed to find? 80%. How will you find the 80%? By two methods. Either find 10% multiplied by 8 or subtract here 20%. You will get the 80%. There are the two ways to find 80%. You multiply 10% by 8, or you can have 100% minus 20%. Whatever you may like, you may feel convenient to do that. 100% represent 45. We will find 20%. 20% is 4. 10% is 4.5. That is 4 and half. 20% is 4 and half. 4 and half. That is 9. I hope you will get it. 10% is 4.5. It is the decimal after one digit from the right side. It is 4.5. So what is 20%? It is 4.5. 4.5. That is 9. So we will write 80% is simple. 100% minus 20%. 100% is 45 minus 20% is 9. It is 36. Simple. You could have done it mentally if you have when you have the enough practice. Simple. You will solve it mentally. 100% is this. You have to subtract it by 20% so that you could get the 80%. I hope you will understand this. Let us do another question. Have a look. We have the question 37. Sorry, here 37.5% of number is what? It is 900. Question is, then find what is 62.5% of that number. 37 point of number is, you have given the 37.5 of a number. You need to find 62.5. So I'm again telling you that you must have an idea of the percentage table. 37.5% represents what fraction? It is 3 by 8. Simple. That is 3 by 8 represent is number is what? 3 by 8 is 900. You need to find 62.5. 62.5 is 5 by 8. Is 5 by 8. So how will you do this? Simple. Have a look. We will divide it. We will find here 1 by 8 and multiply it by 5. 1 by 8 will represent, divided by 3, it is 300. You got it? I hope you will get it. 3 by 8 represents 900. 1 by 8 dividing by 3, it is 1 by 8. It represents 500. What you are supposed to find? 5 by 8 multiply by 5. So 5 by 8 will represent 5 into 3, that is 1500. Simple. That's your question. Just without using some much enough formulas or else, what you did is you must have the logical approach. Simple. 37.5 represents 900. So let us do some more questions in this chapter. It has the lot of questions, lot of concept will come in the coming lectures. First I am in this lecture I am trying to make you understand why how we use our logic, how we use our this percentage table in the practical questions. Let us do some more questions. So it is If we write if 11% of number 11% of number exceeds 7%, 11% of number exceeds 7% of the same by 18. What is the number? What is the number? What is the number? Take a look. How will you find it? How will you do this? Simple. 11% of number exceeds 7%. So what is exceeds? For example, I will give you the simple example. If we say 15 exceeds 10, 15 exceeds 10, definitely 15 exceeds 10. 25 exceeds 18, or say 20, write it. Is it 25? We will write 35 exceeds 25. If we were asked by how much 15 exceeds 10, by how much 25 exceeds 20, by how much 35 exceeds 25, and so on. How will you find that? Simple. You just make a subtraction. 15 minus 10, 5. By 5, 15 exceeds 10. By how much 25 exceeds 20? 25 minus 20, this is 5. 35 minus this is 10. So if you have to find the difference, you have given that the exceed, if you have to find the by how much amount a one number exceeds the another number, just what you do, just make the subtraction. Here have a look. 11% of number exceeds 7%. Take a look here. 11% exceeds 7%, of course. By how much? Simple. Use the same approach. 11 minus 7, that is 4%. Solution. It will exceed 11%. 11% will exceed 7% by how much? By 4. Or simple, you look it in this way. 11 will exceed 7 by how much? By 4. Similar way, in the similar fashion, 11% will exceed 7% by what? By 4%. So this is 4. By how? In actual value, what is the value of the same by how? By 18. By 18. That means you 4% of that number you have found it is 18. What you are supposed to do? You need to do it. What you need to find 100%. Again, recall the concept. Any number in percentage value, the percentage value of any number is 100. 4% you know. So what number you should multiply this by 4? It becomes 100%. Of course 25. So it is 100%. So multiply it by both. 18 into 25. This is how much? This is 90. This is 36. And 36 and 9, it is 450. Simple. We don't use any formula. We don't use long concept. We just use our logical approach. Simple. So still, if you have any question or doubt, you can mention it in our comment box, or you can make any suggestions, whatever you have. Let us I hope we will stop this session here. I think we must stop this session here, otherwise it will become a very long session, so that you will understand these concepts, cross-check these concepts very clearly. And if you have any doubt or any suggestion, please mention it. And also I request you to subscribe my channel, Let's Learn Mathematics, so that you will get the notifications of the future coming videos. Any suggestion by you to make our lectures very effective, it would be most welcomed. So please go through these questions on the regular basis, so that and try to understand these basic concepts, and try to learn how we use this logic in practical questions. And in the next coming videos we will do some more questions, and there are a lot of concepts in this percentage table. If you go through this approach in percentage table, any competitive examination where this chapter are supposed to prepare, you will find that this way is very effective way. You don't need to use these formulas or that concept. This is the best concept. You can solve any question in a very short time, or you can, or sometime, or I guarantee you, without using pen and paper. So I hope you will enjoy this session of very well. Still have any question, please mention it in the comment box. Thank you, class.